Hey, folks, we are here talking about connecting with others. I know a lot of you are relational, but let's face it, dating apps can be a total mess. And that's why we're here with our guest today, Sierra. How you doing today?
Good, Kary. I'm good. How are you? Thank you
Well,
for
listen,
having me.
this is fun on many levels. One level is because I knew you when you were about this tall.
Yes,
I
yes, you
mean,
are my favorite cousin, always.
I'm
Don't
a
tell
little,
the others.
that's right. That's
We
right.
had a connection. That was
Yeah, we do.
we
Yeah,
had
we
a
do. So,
connection.
So, you and I are second cousins. I'm older, of course. So, you were young when I first met you, of course. But then my wife and I visited you and your sister and brother, and it has been awesome to see you grow up and have this entrepreneurial journey. I didn't even know we were co-entrepreneurs here. But
Yep.
what we're talking about today is this incredible new website app, the whole thing. How First of all, let's talk about how crazy it is to like be an entrepreneur. Is this a wild ride?
Yeah, yeah. I reflect so much on that, and again, I do think that's why we had early days connection. We just kind of saw each other in a certain light, because I always looked up to you for sure and admired the
Oh,
work
that's cool.
you started to do even years ago. I mean, I remember like 15 years ago now, I came to one of your presentations.
Oh, wow, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and I was like almost in tears. I was like, this is so inspirational,
Oh,
uh,
man.
and a full, I like to talk about full circle moments with
Yeah,
Connect. So, yeah, being an entrepreneur is absolutely wild. I'm a big fan of Rick Rubin, always talking about the creative act, and to me, it's like
yeah.
one massive creative act of
Wow.
channeling that energy into something you want to see change in the world. There's
Yeah,
some big fire, big passion, right? You always talked about the igniting the
yeah,
fire inside of you. That's exactly what it's been for me. But it's like, with that, it's not just like rainbows and butterflies. It's deep, hard work on yourself. It shines
mm,
the light on your weaknesses and what you need to get better at. And that's been my just laser focus, is like,
oh, yeah,
how can I be the best version of myself? Because Connect is my soul. Like, that's what I
mm,
say. Connect is like what I wanted to show to the world, what I was about, or what I care about. And that's where Connect came from. So it is an absolute wild, crazy, insane ride, but it's like simultaneously the most fulfilling, rewarding, right? With
yeah.
greater the challenge, greater the reward, and there's both sides of it for sure.
I love it. Well, listen, with an entrepreneur, you got to solve a problem.
Yeah.
And so the problem that you're solving in the world is that you saw these dating apps, and again, like I missed that whole thing because I was married.
You're lucky.
Yeah, I was already married and stuff. But for the
You
person
guys
who,
met at bars and stuff? Like, what?
yes, that's right. I met Kelly, believe it or not, in grad school. And so,
Nice.
yeah, so we were in grad school together and I met her there. But yeah, I mean, I mean, man, we were just getting our first cell phones back in the day. I know that sounds so long ago, but then all of a sudden it was a stigma to kind of meet somebody online, but then it became extremely normal. But there were downfalls. What were some of the downfalls of these dating apps, and how are you even different than, what is it called? Is it like Bumble or something? Is that something?
But
I don't
yeah, Bumble's definitely an application.
Yeah.
Yeah, so uh many things, I think, right, in the grand scheme of things, everything's a pro and a con. Like, I think dating apps open the field for like meeting many different people, and even meeting people you might not have met in another circumstance, right? Or when you're traveling, right? There's all these benefits, for sure.
Yeah.
I think what I say a lot about just technology in general, like it's a tool. It should be used as a tool, not a replacement
Mm.
for kind of the whole thing. Social media in general. One of my favorite uh, uh, quotes I heard, and it apologize. I always misquote or forget who said
Oh, so good.
so much information out there nowadays. But it was said that social media can be like snacking, where you often need that full meal, uh,
Ah, I
right?
like that. That's good.
Yeah, yeah. So with the scrolling and the being able to order a date on demand, prime delivery, right? That whole deal. We get that sort of like instantaneous snack and things that kind of help feed you or fulfill you. But what we're trying to create, bring to light, is deep, authentic, meaningful connections.
Mm,
And doing so in a safe and inclusive, trusted way. And obviously, when we started this journey, we were uh, you know, it wasn't so commonplace, I think, to be talking about this. We've been on this journey for a couple of years now, but now I think a lot of brands are understanding the need to create community, create connections. So you're seeing that a lot more. So I don't think dating apps are going away by any means. I think they'll just get better, which is great. But we still see a very
mm,
strong in the marketplace to have sort of like a search and discovery and experience, where again it's just a tool to enhance your life, to find that meaningful connection when and where you need it, and with
yeah.
with the right people, with the right matches that are synergistic, or what we like to say serendipitous
Oh,
for
that's good.
yeah, for you and your journey. Yeah, when you meet that person that, like, you're on that same frequency, and you just know it, and you just get it, and you are there to support each other and help each other through that journey. And we're just trying to be a little less transactional in nature and more uh, uh,
Transformational.
yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, and I love this because you essentially log into the app, you start just like any app, you download it. Yours is in the App Store even, and,
Yep.
Google Play?
Yes, we are in Google Play. We just momentarily had to take it down. We're doing some UI changes and whatnot,
Oh, yeah. Like
but
any app? Yeah,
yes, exactly. Lots of updating and all that good stuff.
yeah. But the thing is that you basically start an account and you say, "I like outdoors, I like movie, I like faith, animals," whatever. You pick your interests, and then this isn't like, "Hey, find somebody to date," but it's more of, "Look," you could even have, I think you called it a study buddy,
Yeah,
that you're on the same campus, they wanna study, and instead of like, how do I find people? Because again, like Ohio State in my town, I mean, what is it, 50,000 people or something crazy?
yeah,
Like it's a city. It's bigger than some cities. So it's very hard to be like, oh, I'm gonna find someone who likes disc golf and shares the same faith as me
yeah,
and
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Um, but you can do all this with that.
Yeah, so very very early days right now. We have a lot of work to do.
That's
Obviously,
okay.
that's
Today
all
you
always the
cast a
case.
vision. You talk as
Yeah,
if it's,
yeah,
tell us
definitely,
ideally what it's gonna be doing.
definitely. So uh, yeah, what we talk about, what we're doing is engineering more serendipity. I've heard
Ooh,
that term several times over the years, but definitely can share. David Spinks with the CMX organization did a really great presentation on this. It's on YouTube if
oh,
anyone
yeah.
wants to take a look. But engineering serendipity is uh, there's several factors that come to consideration, and what we're trying to do is essentially, yeah, find people with those common interests, common communities, common connections, relatability. We're trying to create trigger moments and experiences for them to
Yeah,
find each other and connect upon. Like maybe it is like a pickleball, event being held at the church, right? That would be like a very serendipitous moment to meet people within, serendipitously within your community. So we're using several different factors
Yeah.
to create that quality match. But yes, we're definitely still actively building that, and will be for
Is
hopefully a
this
very long time.
is this the one? Daniel?
um, That is not. Um,
Engineering, but that's pretty
oh,
interesting.
that one's been around for a while. Yeah, 8 years.
Who,
Yeah,
who,
David Spinks did a good one at CMX last October.
interesting. So this
Yeah,
would be David. How do you call it?
SPINX.
Interesting. So he did one. Uh, I gotcha.
Sorry,
Oh, I got it. I got it.
I don't know. Yeah,
So again, we are really in the moment here. All right. So we're gonna post that link here.
there we go. Perfect.
Yeah. But that obviously you watched that and it did something for you.
Yeah, that was a great one. You know, uh, I always said the best way to practice serendipity was follow your heart, follow your intuition, keep it
Yeah.
simple. But in this world, right, where there's so much scale, and we're moving to and from all the time, and uh, you know, to this day, right, jobs and all these things become our number one priority. We're trying to figure out ways to enhance. Again, it comes down to enhancing that experience to create a trusted community, to find connection when and where you need it. Like, I love the travel example. Like,
Mm,
nowadays people feel this didn't always used to be the case, right? People didn't always feel safe or comfortable traveling alone, and now they do, but they don't want to be lonely through that whole journey, or be alone through that whole journey, right? So we've found ways to, create community around travel.
so
And
that's good.
yeah, and like, what if some of, we in your faith-based community also was in traveling Europe for the summer, and you had a buddy to meet up with, right? So we know we can use technology for enriching experiences, and that's all we're really ultimately trying to do, is just create another tool in the tool book.
I love that. I love it. So what oh man, we're talking about the e-mind, and how everybody needs to think like an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
What qualities, steps, lessons did you learn through the entrepreneurial journey that you're like, "Ooh,
Mm.
I can take that back and apply that in a different area." Maybe it's fitness, maybe it's who knows, school. But is there any like skills you learned through the entrepreneurial journey that from Connect that you would talk?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's such an overwhelming question, because it's like, it's this is kind of maybe a feminine example, but like, it's almost like having a kid, right?
Oh
You're like
yeah, yeah.
all this energy and time creating
Yeah,
something, right? And every, like, becoming a mom has to, I'm not there yet, but it has to be one of the most challenging but rewarding things, because you're all your life force is going into this beautiful thing. And
yeah.
that's the whole point of life, right? So there were elements that, like I said, it shines a spotlight on your weaknesses.
Ooh, yeah.
There's elements that you need to work on, and it's, sometimes not until you really are in that, like, survival like state, that you're like, okay, like, I've just exhausted everything I have into creating that new connection, that new pathway, neural pathway, or right.
Sure.
Everything internal is a reflection of your external. So it's like, that deep work within yourself shows up within your surroundings. But yeah, sorry, that's a mouthful. I
No,
think
I
very,
get it.
yeah, very specifically. Oh man,
Here's a thought.
yeah,
Um,
please. It's everything. That's why it's so.
no, I get it. Were you ever rejected in along the way?
Oh my gosh, so many times. Oh, and that was a tough one, because yeah, like you know, I think, I worked super hard for the things I got in life, but like I was also very privileged and like, got had so much good that came to me as well. And again, it's twofold, but like yeah, like when you're in this process, you're going to hear no like 99% of the time, or not no,
Yeah.
just like you're not going to find that reverence between you and another person, but you're kind of on this hunt, like
Wow.
looking for that, that great connection, or that thing that's going to help get you to the next level. So yeah, rejection is like is absolutely just part of the game, and it's not at all to take it personal. It's to make you better, right?
Yeah.
And to always be yeah, looking inward and go, how can I improve myself or the situation, or whatever's around you. So yeah, that is just absolutely part of it. Some people think like not just rejection, but some people think you're crazy because you're having this vision,
Sure.
and and you're absolutely not. You just it might not be a no. It's just could be like a not yet, because some people need to see things to understand them and get further along in the journey. So yeah, rejection is absolutely the core component of the process.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I mean, I'm looking at the website. I got to give you, I teach entrepreneurship. I am one, but I mean, your logo is amazing. I love
Thank
it.
you.
And then the design, folks, you got to check this out. I'm really into design here. So
Yeah.
if you are, if you are looking to watch this, this is cool. It freezes there. Oh, that is so good. Dude, who designed
I
this?
was just gonna say I gotta give credit. There's a local marketing company, Bonsai Media Group, I think is their full
Sweet.
name. But they have a full supportive team, and they have this rock star designer, Evan, who like I have a design mind too, and I can pitch it and I can envision and whatnot, and I tried so hard to get at least the logo like done
Yeah.
myself, and then like it was like called upon Bonsai and Evan, and they just completely made it professional and made everything come to light. So highly
It's so
recommend.
good.
Yeah, thank you. I'm so glad you think so, because I really enjoyed, speaking of the creation process, like meeting them, getting to know them, working with that team, bringing this to light. It's important for uh, um, something like what we're doing to make you feel good and look good in the the holistic sense. Like we're trying to create a very safe,
Yeah.
heartwarming space, right, where people can be their authentic selves. So I think it's just crazy how colors and the whole design process,
It's
how
good.
it brings that to light. So thank you for saying that.
Yeah. Well, listen, I know we got about 5 more minutes. I
Yeah,
got I got 2 more questions.
yeah,
One is I think you and I both share a unique skill set where we can be creative and we can think with one side of our brain, the creative
yeah,
idea, and then we can also think strategically.
yeah,
Doesn't mean that we are going to do all the coding because
yeah.
I certainly can't code, but, I created
Neither,
this.
by the way.
Yeah, yeah. I hear it. But I created this new invention, Easy IP. It required a patent.
Yep.
It's
Cool.
cutting edge thinking, but then you also have to be creative and think about the user experience and how you remove friction.
Mhm.
And is it too techy that people will not get it? So, um, how do you do all that? Like, is that just the way you were born too, or do you feel like you like one more than the other, or how's the balance there?
Yeah, great question. So yeah, I am not technical, but I can, understand both worlds enough to see.
It's like you're bilingual.
Bilingual is a strong word, but
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, totally, totally. Definitely. What's the word? If you can understand the conversation,
Right.
but not like fully participate. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think a few factors are at play. Like one is there's a huge surgence of like non-technical founders,
Mm,
because
that's interesting.
technology, yeah, like technology needs to be built with all minds included now, right? Like like in order for uh someone to that's where the whole profession, the UX profession comes from, the user experience. Like for someone to really understand how to use
Mm,
technology and be able to build and implement it, that like the functional role they're building for has to, it has to align to both brains. So there is a huge increase in like the non-technical founder role, for that very reason. We need to build for different minds and communities. I say that I love people. Like my expertise is building communities, building relationships and whatnot. So like I want to create an ecosystem that really presents itself that way and doesn't have too many clicks and buttons and all those things. So yeah, so I think a there are many ways to approach this, but the top of mind for me is finding your people. I always talk about that. Like uh,
mm.
we have a I just love these people. They become family where like you find people who understand you enough to like help fill that gap, right, for you. And that's the thing about um our society too at large. It's like we've been taught so much about competition and scarcity and all this, but like I like to say, like the whole point of being alive is to find your puzzle pieces, like to
Ah,
go and create those puzzles, go and create that abundance. But you're designed to do certain things and other people have their own design. And so my strategy in all this was finding the right people who we had that connection, that reverence, and could help each other achieve our goals. That the whole point of Connect, right? Those synergistic, valuable connections. So that's how I bridged the gap. But very fundamentally, to give a fundamental example, is I call it like a North Star. Like
yeah.
if and you can use so many tools, and it's so much easier nowadays to do this, like Figma and all these tools where you have a vision, right? And your job, again, I'm quoting someone and I can't remember who, but
Okay.
your job becomes finding any way possible to like articulate that vision and share it. And how do I describe this in words and photos and whatever to someone else, so we can create like this shared North Star
Mm.
that then that person can use their expertise to build. And I'm gonna, like, they're gonna build the foundation, the architecture, and I'm gonna design do the interior design,
Oh
or something
yeah.
to that effect, right? That it's a whole community
Well,
that it takes to build that. Yeah.
and as an entrepreneur, you really are moving a lot of pieces together.
Yeah.
You're bringing you had to get it in the app store. You had to get the
Yeah.
design. You had to get the relationships. I see now that you're out talking and it's actually being part of different types of conferences and events
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
You got 2 minutes left, but give
Mhm.
me, what do you see this where do you see this going? Like what's the vision? If we're talking in 3 years and you say, oh my gosh, Kary, this has been a 3-year wild, exciting ride, and here's what Connect is, what would you say?
Oh, you're great interviewer. I love it. Love the questions. I've been saying this for a while now. Like my vision is big. Like, and
Yeah, I like that.
I'm happy for it to land anywhere, among the stars. But my vision is that you're anywhere in the world, and you could use this app and find a value, like a impactful connection. The value is is subjective, right? Like it could be value to how you need it, but the whole
Yeah.
is that you feel safe first and foremost. We have to get the safety component down for this to really work.
Mm.
No ifs, ands, or buts or exceptions on that, which is again why it's taking us a while to feel to get the great thing out there. But it has to be safe. You have to be able to feel like you can be your most authentic self, and that reverence is being created between you and another human, where it's like, hey, we could not talk again, but like that was valuable. I learned something that helped something. But I want you to be anywhere in the world and experience that, right? With my app, with all these others that are getting created, like I think the main thing I want to create is a reconnected, world, and able to see each other through their eyes, see someone through their eyes and their experiences, and learn to live through life in that way. And I think Cennec is going to help people feel that community again, that I think has been lacking for some time. So we want.
I heard 3 S's.
Yeah.
I heard you say safety,
Mm-hmm.
self, meaning like authentic self.
Yep.
And scalable, meaning scalable, like it's worldwide.
Yes. I love that. I love that. We're gonna share that with
write
my
that down.
Let's go. Yes.
No, I really like this. I think last thing I'll say, and I got to jump on another awesome thing. But I'd say, like, in France last year, 5 days before, my whole group of guys had to cancel. One guy's wife had a serious surgery. They all kind of got freaked out and bailed. And I'm literally in France by myself biking. And like, I wish I would have had Cennec to be like, who else is there? Boom. Safety. Yeah. You see?
Yes.
That would have been a use case.
That story. And sorry, your friend, that's awful. But like that, those are the use cases. It's like, and even like, you don't even have to be in France on this trip, but even like, I really want to hone in on this point. Like, the person that feels desperately alone and is scared and is having, a mental health challenge, or feeling like they can't talk to anyone,
Recording in progress.
That I mean, just think about the people, right, who are just so desperately needing connection that we want to solve for, and that's the most fundamental layer that's most important right now. And then we will get there. We will, but we've got to go out and help people right now, and that's
I love it. I love it. I love it. So, folks, Sierra West, and check out Connect, and we'll hear big things from you, and we're super proud of you. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you so much, Kary. This was so much fun and awesome. I appreciate you so much, and great full circle connection we got here.
Absolutely. Folks, go download the app today. Have a great day. We'll see you.
See you.